Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. If it would help if I take a beaver down, maybe. Okay, GoPro died, so we're back on the tablet. As long as the video's taken, I don't care what takes it. Okay, so we got our fox on the board, or on the beam. This is another thing you're going to need, a fleshing beam. If anybody has any questions about them, I can show it to you in a different video. What we got to get off is all this meat, and there's some of this gristly fat underneath this meat, and that's what we got to get off. The blood and everything else will come with it. Most of these knives come with two sides, your sharp side and your dull side. Never use the sharp side unless you absolutely have to. Especially on these good knives. I ruined a couple nice coon learning how to use this knife. The sharp side is sharp. Grab the lip here and give it a pull. You want to get the hide nice and tight. If you have any folds or laps or creases or anything, that's where you're going to cut your hide. So we'll take this dull side of our knife and start pushing. And fox doesn't take much effort to do. It's not like a coyote or coon. They're pretty ginger little animals. So nice and easy. Make sure you don't miss any big chunks of fat or fur, or I'm sorry, fat or meat. If you miss a tiny little bit here or there, I guess it's okay. I'm not saying to cut corners. I was showing a guy how to do this earlier this year, and I told him the best thing to remember is there's no such thing as good enough. I didn't have anybody to tell me that when I started doing this, and I wish I'd have saved a couple of my first coons. I could show you guys, because they were absolutely terrible. There was so much fat left on them, I'm sure they'd probably be rotten by now. Okay, come up here on the head. You don't have to get too crazy on the head. A lot of guys do, and it's by no means wrong, but you're basically, you just want it to look pretty. You know, you're not, this is what they're using right here. So if you leave a little bit up above the ears, it's no big deal. Be careful around your any bullet holes or anything. You're not wanting to, you know, make them even bigger than what they already are. There's no fast way to do this. It's just slow and meticulous. And the slower and easier you go, the better job you're going to do. I'm a lot faster with coons than I am with these things. I hear everybody talking about how they hate fleshing a coon, and I love it because their hide is so thick. You can really go to town, and you know, you can just scrape away, and you don't have to worry about anything. Maybe you can do that with a fox too, but I haven't got there yet. The back on them, back here, the first part we did, is the strongest, thickest, toughest part of that animal. I'm going to shorten these legs up a little bit. You can see how sharp that sharp side of that knife is. Once you get down here to the belly and the sides, you need to be extra careful because that skin is paper thin. And one push the wrong way, and you're going to have a massive gaping hole in your, $20, $30 hide. I saved the bottom for last. I just keep working my way around on the top first. That way I'm not humped over trying to reach all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to cut this leg off a little shorter too. In here is hard to get because the legs keep wanting to fold in. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Again, you're always making sure that your hide is nice and tight. Any bumps or folds or creases, you're going to rip through them. Be careful when you get down to the pecker here, penis I guess I should say. That bump down there is an unavoidable bump, but it's just like a burr. If you got a burr or anything else inside that fur, when you roll over with your knife, you're going to knock a hole in it. That's the same way that pecker nail is. If you're pressing too firm on that spot, it's going to rip right through your hide. What I'll usually do, I just kind of halfway flesh around it, and I'll come back with a razor knife when it's on the drying board and finish it up, and then we borax it. Shove your leg in up here at the top of your fleshing beam, and that's how we're going to get that tricky spot in between the legs. Get from the leg down into the center. Got some real gristly spots on him. And once you get from the leg to the center, done on the one side, you can switch them over, take it to the other leg, pull it nice and tight again. This board I made by myself. I'm going to either redo this one a little bit or make a new one before next year. I noticed there's a dead spot right in the center of the board to where it doesn't conform to this nice U in this knife. And I keep having to slide it over and put it on the edge of the beam here so I can get it. Okay, I'm getting there. Get around behind this leg here. Always keep it tight. These things peel off real nice and easy. This is nothing like a coyote or even coon. When I first started doing coon, it was real hard to do till I got the knack of it. I still, to this day, hear guys say that coon's the worst animal to flesh. I totally disagree. I fleshed my first coyote a couple months ago, and I was considering selling every coyote trap that I own. They are terrible. They're like when you cut up a deer, and the deer's got that real gristly, thick, you kind of see it on the fox too, this real gristly, thick fat. A coyote's entire body has got that on it. And it's all got to come off. Okay, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. Knock on wood, we haven't popped a hole in them yet. It's a great sign. Real nice and easy. I got one spot, my first cut actually, that I over scraped, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. So you know, if if you start doing this, if you start seeing what I'm going to show you, you'll know to stop. It's a lot harder to tell on an unprime animal if you're over scraping. Their hide is so thin you can almost see through it when you're doing it right. That's another reason it kind of pays to wait a little longer, especially on coon. A prime coon is one of the easiest things to flesh in the world. Their skin is like armor. Okay, I think we're pretty well done here, ladies and gentlemen. Just so you get a little bit more right here, you can see it's still a little nasty there. And on these fur out animals, coyote and fox like this, you can, I don't even want to say it, it's not the right way to say it, but you can cut a little bit of corners. Cooner finished fur in, hide out, because the hide is what the buyers want to see when they're buying coon. Coyote and fox are finished fur out, because that's what the buyers want to see. So if you miss a little spot here or there, it's not going to affect you quite as much as it is a fur in animal. Okay, that's pretty much it. We kind of tidied up the pecker nail there, and a little bit off this leg. You're always going to find one or two little spots that you miss. Okay, we're going to clean this off. I'm going to clean the head up a little bit more. Try and be a perfectionist, I guess. I'm going to pause the video and I'll bring you guys back and we're going to put them on the board. I finished up as much as I could on the beam. I looked for that spot I wanted to show you guys where I kind of overdid it and I couldn't really find it. But what you're going to look for if you're going to overdo it, you're going to see the bare skin and you're going to see a bunch of tiny little black dots. That's the back side of the hair follicles. So that's what you want to watch out for. I'm going to go grab my board and we'll slide them on the board. We're going to cut a little bit more of this meat off here. These big gobs, we can't have any of that on there. And then we'll finish them up. Okay guys, we got the fox as cleaned up as we want them. And like I said before, if you keep looking back, you're going to keep finding stuff you missed. Okay, we got that all cleaned up. Now we're going to take our 20 Mule Team borax. Here it is. We're just going to liberally spray it, or put it all over his body like this. Every little nook and cranny. Running out of time here on the video, but most important, I'm going to pause it again, most important, behind the ears, all the way around the arms, the entire head, and inside the tail. Alright, we're going to pause it again, and we'll show you how to put them on the board. Okay, we got him on the board, we got him flipped. I know he looks ratty right now. I just got done brushing him out with the hydrogen peroxide, getting the rest of the blood off him. We'll brush them out real good. We'll hang them up in front of the fan, get them all fluffed back out, and then we'll set the hairs when we're done, before the hairs set the way they are now. But all we're going to do here, we're just going to pull both these legs around, center them. We're going to cut them off here where the white ends. Center them. We'll go 2 staples in the bottom of each foot, and then I usually do one on either side of the tail, maybe another one if I need it, and one in the tail to hold it flat, and that'll be it. I'll staple them up, and then we'll show you the finished product. Okay guys, there he is, the finished product. Like I said, he looks a little ratty. We're going to dry him out in front of the fan and brush them. We did 2 staples on each side in the back and 1 in each foot, and that was it.